So today we are going to see how you can splice an array or a list. Sometimes I call it array, sometimes I call it list. They mean the same thing. I may call it array, I may call it list. Now we've looked at lists before now. Something like this. We looked at list of names. This is a list of names. Let's say Peter, James, and John. So here's a list of names. When you are splicing it, meaning that you are cutting that list, you are removing part of it. Now, if you are using Python to do it, let's say I have a list of numbers. So I can say for, let's say nums, for num in range, let's say 30. Now this is going to be from 0 to 29. Find num. So when you run, oh, this is going to turn, sorry, this should be single m. So for num in, yeah, let's run it. This should be. So this is 0 to 29. But then I want to push it inside a new list. That is, I want to create a list, maybe values equals to this. So I can say values dot append num. So it's going to push all the values inside this list, and then I can now print out the results. You can print out values. So when we print out values, we see all the things inside values, which is 1 to 29. So we've looked at this in the last session, in our last class. Let's proceed. Now, instead of running this, we want to cut part of this list. Do we get it? Maybe you want to pick the first 5 values there. You may say maybe you want to create a new list that will only contain the first 5 values. Or you want to create a new list that will contain maybe the second 10 values. You just want to pick part of it and put it inside a new list. And that is where splicing comes in. When you say you splice something, you cut it. So that is what we are doing today. You are cutting part of a list and you are saving it inside a new list. But before we proceed, please let me quickly save this file. Okay, good. Now, we can now say values. If you, this you can put up to 3 values here, right? The first value here is where you want it to start from. That is, if I put 3 here, I'm saying that starts from index 3. Remember that the first value in your list is at index 0. This is at index 1, this is at index 2, this is at index 3. Now, just to make it obvious that these values here do not really stand for index, I will come here and say generate numbers from 5 to 30. So that I can start from 5 and it can end at 29. So let's work with this. This 5 is at position 0, index 0. This 6 is at index 1, 7 is at index 2, 8 is at index 3, on and on like that. So the first value he put here is the starting point. That is, I'm saying that start at index 3. End at, let's say 7. So start at index 3, end at index 7. That's the essence of this 3 colon 7. Start at 3, end at 7. Now, you see this 7 is non-inclusive, meaning that the value at index 7 will not be part of the results. We're going to start from index 3. Please, if you start from index 3 and end at index 7, what will the results be?
So it's going to be from 8
Okay, ma. So where will it end, ma?
to 13.
Okay, ma.
No, sorry, to 12.
Good. 8 to 12. Thank you, ma. So this is what splicing, or this is how splicing works. This is how it works. 3, 4, 5, 6. Come in. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, it's not going to include the value at index 7. So index 7 is not inclusive. It's not going to include 7. So that's why we have it ending at 11. It includes the value at 3, it includes the value at 4, it includes the value at 5, it includes the value at 6, but it's not going to include the value at 7. Any questions so far?
That's fine. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, of course, instead of using this to generate these values, of course, we can use our numpy to make it faster and shorter. So let's bring in numpy. Import numpy as np. So we can say values equals to np.arange. So I want it to start from 5 and end at 30. So this is shorter. Good. Then when you run this now, we have the same result that we got the other time. Let's proceed. Now we can say that I want it to maybe take the last 5 values. Remember I said that the first value here is the starting point. This here is the ending point. Now, to make it easy, I'm going to do something. I'll say values. We're going to use 2 approaches and we'll use that to explain. Notice that index 0, index 1, index 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So this has this 24. This 29 is at index 24. So we're going to make this to be 25. Do you understand this? So that it can end here.
Yes.
Yes, so that I can include this. Thank you. Then we now say this is 24, this is 23, 22, 21, 20. So we're going to say 20 colon 25 like this. So that's going to give us the last 5 values. But there's a better approach. Why this is working, there's a better approach. Because does that mean that we start counting from, if you have 1,000 values, I want to pick the last 5 values, that means we start counting like that. So let's look at other approach that we can make use of to achieve the same result. Mrs. Dorcas. Oh, Mrs. Dorcas.
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Please, are you able to follow with the class, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, let me do a quick recap in maybe 2 minutes. You understand what you are doing?
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, ma'am. Now, there's something called lists. List contains a lot of values. You know, when we say list of names, meaning that many names. When we say list of numbers, many numbers. So we want to deal with lists. In fact, for now, we are looking at list alone. So let's start from the very. So we are starting our coding from this. So if I have vars, this vars is a container equals to list. You put list inside curly braces like this. When you have a curly braces, that tells Python that this is a list. Inside this list, you can now put your items there. I can put list of names, I can put list of numbers. But because we are dealing with numbers for now, so we are going to be putting list of numbers there. I can put any numbers I want there. So this list contains 3 items. Do you understand this, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Now you see this verse is the container that stores that list. I can choose to call it any name. In fact, I can call it Lucas. I can call it any name of my choice. I can call it Tai. I can call it any name of my choice. It's just a container that stores value. Now, just like in mathematics, when we say let x equals to 5 and we call on x, anytime we call on x, that means we are calling on what we have inside of it. So anytime I call on Tai, I'm actually calling on this list.
Okay.
Now the first item in the list is at position 0. The second item in the list is at position 1. The third item in the list is at position 2. On and on like that. So we say this 10 is at position 0. We say this 25 is at position 1. We say this 60 is at position 2. Do you get it, man?
Yes, sir.
But we don't call it position. Instead, we call it index.
Okay.
So we say this 10 is at index 0, 25 index 1, 60 index 2. Now, but instead of we have a lot of things to do on that list, but there is a tool that has been given to us to make our work much easier, and that is called NumPy. So if you are making use of it to make your work easier, you say import NumPy. So we are importing it. Then we are giving it an alias as MP. This is just an alias that we decide to give it. You can call it anything. I can say as J. NumPy becomes J. But it is common that people call NumPy MP. In most code, this is what you're going to see. Import NumPy as MP. The essence of this NumPy is to reduce the work we do. So if I want to create a list of numbers, I can use something called arange that is inside this NumPy. So anytime I call on MP, I'm actually calling on NumPy. So I'll come here and say mpy.arange. This arange is inbuilt in this NumPy. So I can say generate a list of numbers for me. Let the number start from 10 and let it end at 20. So when you put arange like this, you supply at least, or you can supply multiple values. Sorry. But when you supply two values like this, the first is the starting point. The second is the ending point. That is, generate list of numbers for me. Let it start from 10 and let it end at 20. But it's not going to include this last number. That is, it will start from 10 and end at 19. It's not going to include 20 itself. If I say generate a list of numbers for me, let it start at 30 and let it end at 45. It's going to be from 30 to 44. So it's not going to include this number. Do you understand it, man?
Yes, sir, I understand that part, sir.
Okay.
I didn't understand the NuPy.
Okay, MP.
What you mean by NuPy?
Okay, NumPy is a package, is a tool.
NumPy.
Yes, NumPy is a tool, is a package that has been inbuilt, that it's inbuilt inside this place that we're writing our codes. It's in there. Instead of us to do a lot of things manually, it was given to us to make our work easier. So whenever you want to make use of it, you import it. Importing it means that I want to use it in my code. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
NumPy stands for numerical Python. Is a package, is a module, like a tool that makes it easy for us to work with numbers. So because we are dealing with numbers, that's why we are bringing in NumPy. So we can now save this in a container. You can say vars equals to this. So these numbers that are generated, so I want to put this place here. These numbers that are generated here, we are saving it inside vars. Next is, we're looking at splicing, how to cut it. So this vars becomes numbers from 30 to 44, because I said it's not going to include the last number here, 30 to 44. So splicing means that I want to cut part of it. I want to cut it. So if I want to cut the first 5 values inside this vars, vars look like this. This is our 30 to 44. If I want to cut the first 5 values, so I can say, I'm not going to put any value here. That is, of course, you can say 0 and end at 5. It's going to include 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, it's not going to include index 5. So this will give you the first 5 values. And the shorter way to just do it is to remove this one, remove the 0. Just make it empty. Start from the beginning and end at 5. So that's how we have this. Any questions so far?
None from my end, sir. I will have to go through this again to understand it perfectly.
Okay, ma. Okay, ma. See you, ma. Sorry for the digress.
No, that's okay. That's fine. Thank you.
You're
I'm
welcome.
okay.
Yes. So we are looking at getting the last 5 values. Let's bring this back. So if we have hundreds of values or thousands of values, are we start going to be counting from beginning to the end? Now to do that, we can say that make this empty. That is from 20 to the end. So this is going to give us from 20 to the end. But not that alone, because we still need to know that this is 20. We still need to start counting. So we can use negative numbers. If I say -1, that it starts from the last number. If I say -2, start from this place. If I say -3, start from this place. -4, start from this place. -5, start from this place. So if I say -5 to the end, that is, start from the 5th to the last number, then down to the end. Do we get it?
Yes.
Okay. So that's why we have these results. Start from this. So if you want to display the last 10 numbers, this will be -10 to the end. So it's going to give us the last 10 numbers. Let's proceed. Next is let's go to another cell. Next is that what if I want to display 5, all the odd numbers, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, all the odd numbers. So I can say start from beginning 0 to the end. Then we have something called skip. This is the number of steps. So if I say 2, that means take 2 steps. When you pick the first value, take 2 steps, it will jump here. Pick this, take 2 steps, it will jump here. Then take 2 steps, it will jump here. So this will pick just the odd numbers alone. Do we understand this?
Yeah.
Okay. So the third value tells us the number of steps that it is to take. So you can values like that. Now because you are starting from beginning, there is no point putting this 0. It's optional, right? You can just make it empty like this. Meaning start from beginning to the end, then take 2 steps. And this gives us just the odd numbers alone. Now, classwork. I want us to paint. How do you think it will be? Let me put it like this. How do you think it will be? If we want to reverse it, that is, we want it to be 29 to 5. Do we get it? Instead of 5 to 29, we just want it to reverse the what's it called? The lists. How do you think that is going to be?
So, since I'm just thinking,
Okay, man.
since our values we can be -5
Mm-hmm.
to, and we leave it, and it's going to give us from the 5 to the last number to the end. So I think we can also do, if you want to print from end, we can say -1 ratio maybe 0.
Okay. Values -1 ratio 0. Okay. Like this, man.
Let's see what it's going to give. Yeah?
This is what we have.
What's the result?
This is telling us that it's an array and the data type is an integer. We look at type later, int 64. We have different types of integer, but we're going to look at that deeper later. It's saying that the type inside this is an int 64.
Okay, let me think again.
Okay, ma.
Okay. Excuse me. Thank you. So, since we can have that as well, can't we say from... So we can go back down. Can't we go back? We can say from 30 ratio 0.
Okay. Okay, let's look at it together. We can say that start from beginning to the end, then subtract 1 from the end. So what it's going to do is, remember, when you put 2, meaning that you're jumping 2, 2, 2. Now, in this case now, I'm jumping minus 1. This is going to reverse it for us. Do you understand it?
So from beginning to the end, the minus 1.
Yes, ma'am. Awesome. So if you want to see the last 5 values in reverse order.
Sir, sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, sir. Why -1 and not -5?
No, we are saying we want to see all the values from the end. Do you get it, ma'am? -5, what it's going to do is that it will pick the first value, it will omit 5, it will display the next value, it will omit 5 again, it will display the next value. If you put -5 here like this, it will, because 29, it will omit 5 values, 24, it will omit another 5 values, I think that should, 19, it will omit 5 values, 14, it will omit 5 values, 9, it will omit 5 values. Okay, we've gotten to the end, there's no value here.
Okay, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Any other question? Okay, ma'am. So let's say we want to display the last 5 values in reverse order. We can have something like this. So we want it to say, okay, the last 5 values, that is, start at this place. So that would be start as -1, end at -6. If you put -5, it's going to stop at 4. You know, this is -1, this is -2, -3, -4, -5. And you know this value here is non-inclusive. That is, the second value is non-inclusive. So we make this to be -6, so that it can be -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. This is -6. But the value at the second position will not be included. That is non-inclusive. So it makes it to be -6. Then in reverse order. What's going on? Oh, I put comma. Sorry. So we have this is that. Any question? Any question? Any question? Hope you understand it.
Okay. Yes.
So this is how we slice in NumPy. Now assignment. Generate a list of numbers between, let's say, 40 to 100. After generating that, of course, you save it in the variable. Then remove the numbers from position for position 10 to 5. That is from the end, right? Do you understand it?
position 10 to 5.
Yes, from index 10 to 5.
From position 10 to 5 only.
Is it
Index,
the same thing as to read the number from index
And
5 to 10? Is it the
and-
same thing?
no, ma. No, ma. In the reverse order.
African store from mommy.
Okay.
Yes, ma. From 10 to 5. That is, we start from 10. Then we end as 5. The value at index 10 will be the first value in the list. The value at index 9 will be the second value. The value at index 8 will be the third value. The value at index 7 will be the fourth value. 6 will be the fifth value. And the value at index 5 will be the last value, which is the sixth value that will be in that list. So we know the values from index 10 to 5. Multiply each of the values by 50. So here is it. Generate a list of numbers from 40 to 100. Move the numbers from index 10 to 5, that is in reverse order. Then multiply each of the values, that is each of the values in this place from 10 to 5. Multiply each of those values by 50. Then display the result. Do we get the assignment?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome, man. Alright, thanks for coming, man. The CEO, thank you, man. Ms. Dorcas, thank you, man. Good night to us.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, man.
Thank you, sir. Have a wonderful night, guys.
Yeah,
Bye.
you too, man. Bye-bye. Bye, Winnie.
Bye,
Bye.
ma'am. Bye.